Hello guys, welcome to another of our video tutorials. So today we are going to continue from where we stopped. I'm going to be teaching you how to differentiate between an array and a list, and how you can add, multiply or subtract from each of these two different types of lists, the array and the list itself. Okay, so before we go ahead, let me also quickly tell you how you can print everything from, I don't know if I taught you that in the last class, but how you can print everything from the very last one to the list, to the first one rather. So what you will do is to use your double colon and a minus sign 1. Okay, a minus sign and then 1. When you do this, you're going to print the whole of this data starting from the last one to the very first one. Okay, so when you run this code, you're going to have it in the opposite direction from 7 to the last one. Okay, I don't know if I told you that, but I just thought I should do this before we go ahead. Okay. Okay, so guys, I'm going to delete some of the data here so we don't have too much data to deal with. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at 4. All right, so guys, the next thing to do here is to teach you how you can multiply an array. Okay, so we've created one array here. All right, so the next thing to do is to create a second array, b, to be equal to mp.array. Okay, let's say 4, 3, 2 and 1. Okay, so then here we have c to be equal to a plus b you print your c. Okay guys, what I am trying to teach you here is this. Look at this answer very well. 5 5 5 5. All right, now this is how array is being added. Array is added one at a time according to the positions. Now if you check the first one here, which is 1, the first one is added to the first one of the second array. So it is added according to the position of the data. The first one will add to the first one of the other one. The second one will add to the second one on the other line, on the other list. The third one will add to the third one on the other array list. The fourth one will add to the fourth one on the other array list. Now what it literally means is that the number of the letters or the characters must be equal. You can't have 4 characters in one of the array list and you have 3 in the second one. It will pop up an error for you. So you must have the same number of characters so that each of those lines will have an equivalent line to add up to. Okay, so the first one will add to this first one of the other list, the array list I mean. The second one will do the same. Okay, so that is how an array is being added. If you want to also multiply, it is also the same thing. What you have to do here is to remove the plus sign and use the multiplication sign. Then when you print your c, you also notice that the first one will multiply the second one. Okay, so this is how it goes. 4 6 6 4. Okay, 4 6 6 4. If you check behind the scene here, you see that 1 multiplied by 4 is 4, 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, and 1 multiplied by 1 is 4. Okay, so that is how you go ahead multiplying arrays in their different ways. Okay, so I'm going to also teach you how you can multiply an array with a scalar variable. A scalar variable simply means just one character. Okay, so let's assume I want to multiply this first array with 2. Remember what I told you, these 2 will be multiplying the first array one after another. That means 2 will multiply 1, 2 multiply 2, 2 multiply 3, 2 multiply 4. Okay, so when you run this code, you're going to have this. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2, 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, and 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. Okay, so this is how you go ahead multiply an array with another array and an array with a scalar variable, which is just a number. Okay, so having done this, let's comment this out and create a list. Okay, so let's use L to create a list. L equal to list, let's say 2, 4 and 6. Let's create this list. Okay, first of all, let me teach you how you can also multiply a list and a list and a list plus a list. Okay, so let's create another list, list 1 to be equal to, let's say 6, 4 and 2. Okay, so the next thing to do now is to say L3 or L2 to be equal to L plus L1. Okay, so before we print this out, let me quickly tell you how the list works. Okay, now what the list does is that it adds the second list after the first one. It does not add up, it concatenates. If you have been in my class, you understand what the term concatenation means. What it means is that if you're to add this list 1 and this first one, just after the first list, the second list will just appear. It will not add 2 to 6 and 4 to 4 and 6 to 4, just like the array. That is the difference I'm trying to teach you here. Okay, so when you run this code, you're going to have this. All right, so the first list is 2, 4, 6. The second list is 6, 4, 2. This is called concatenation, joining together. So it did not add them together like the array list did. Okay, so this is the difference between the array list and the normal list. Okay, so if you want to also get the multiplication, it will also do it in that same format. Okay, so when you run this, the next thing we are going to do right now is to multiply. Naturally, you cannot multiply two lists, but you can add them together, or you can multiply a list twice, simply using another scalar variable. For instance, let's assume we want to add up this list. We want to multiply this list with another one, let's say another scalar variable 2, for instance. What this literally does is that it multiplies this 6, 4, 2 in two different places. That means it makes it to appear twice. Instead of multiplying this 6 to be 12, this 4 to be 8, and this 2 to be 4, it makes it to appear twice. That means after this 6, 4, 2, you see another 6, 4, 2. All right, so let's run the code so we'll get a clearer picture of what we are talking about. Okay, so guys, so this is how you get a list to be multiplied twice by a scalar variable. You use the first one, which is a normal list, to multiply any number you wish to. It will appear in that same number. So this is 2, 4, 6, and this is another 2, 4, 6, meaning that we are multiplying the first list by 2. Okay, so guys, this is how you go about differentiating between the array list and the normal list. There are so many other ways you can do that, but these are just the simplest way you can easily identify or differentiate a list and the array list. All right, so guys, I hope you've enjoyed this class. See you in our next class. Take care.